this is our fifth lecture of design of experiments. So in previous lecture we have already discussed least square estimators of the parameters of the model used in completely randomized design. So in this lecture we are going to discuss variance for these parameters, and also we will discuss expressions for expectation of mean sum of square due to error and expression for expectation of mean sum of square due to treatment. So let us discuss. So in previous lecture we had discussed some remarks about random error. So let us take revision of that. So we know that expected value epsilon ij follows IID normal with mean 0 and variance sigma square. So that expected value for epsilon ij is 0. Similarly, expected value of epsilon dot dot bar and expected value for epsilon I dot bar is also 0. Then expected value for epsilon ij square is sigma square. Expected value of epsilon I dot bar square is sigma square upon ni, where I is running from 1 to t. Then expected value for epsilon dot j bar square is sigma square upon t, where j is running from 1 to ni. Then expected value of epsilon dot dot bar, here is a square, is sigma square upon capital N. Then expected value for epsilon I dot bar into epsilon dot dot bar is sigma square upon capital N. And last one is expected value of epsilon I dot bar into epsilon ij is sigma square upon ni. So with the help of these remarks we are going to discuss variance of least square estimators of the parameters of the model used in completely randomized design. So now first we will discuss variance for mu hat. So let us consider variance of mu hat. So we know that least square estimator for mu is grand mean. So take variance of grand mean. So we know that grand mean can be written as mu plus epsilon dot dot bar. So take variance of mu plus epsilon dot dot bar. So we know that mu is a constant term and variance of constant term is 0. So we get term variance of epsilon dot dot bar. Now just take now just use definition of variance. So we get expected value of epsilon dot dot bar square minus expected value of epsilon dot dot bar whole bracket square. So we know that expected value of epsilon dot dot bar is 0 and expected value for epsilon dot dot bar square is sigma square upon capital N. So that variance of mu hat is sigma square upon capital N. Now let us discuss variance for alpha I hat, which is our second parameter. So consider variance of alpha I hat. So we know that least square estimator of alpha I is xi dot bar minus x dot dot bar. So take its variance. So we get variance of xi dot bar minus. Now this grand mean can be written as mu plus epsilon dot dot bar. Then we get variance of, now xi dot bar can be written as mu plus alpha I plus epsilon I dot bar minus mu minus epsilon dot dot bar. Now this this mu and this mu will get cancelled. So the remaining term is variance of alpha I plus epsilon I dot bar minus epsilon dot dot bar. Now here alpha I is a constant term and variance of constant term is 0. So the remaining term is variance of epsilon I dot bar minus epsilon dot dot bar. Now use formula variance of x plus y is variance of x plus variance of y plus 2 times covariance of x comma y. So use this formula for this term. So we get variance of epsilon I dot bar plus variance of epsilon dot dot bar minus 2 times covariance of epsilon I dot bar comma epsilon dot dot bar. So now use definition of variance. So we get expected value of epsilon I dot bar square minus in square bracket expected value of epsilon I dot bar bracket square plus expected value of epsilon dot dot bar square minus in square bracket expected value of epsilon dot dot bar bracket square minus now use definition of covariance in terms of expected value. So we get minus 2 times in bracket expected value of epsilon I dot bar into epsilon dot dot bar minus expected value of epsilon I dot bar into expected value of epsilon dot dot bar. So in next step we get now expected value of epsilon I dot bar square is sigma square upon ni minus expected value of epsilon I dot bar is 0. Then expected value of epsilon dot dot bar square is sigma square upon n minus expected value of epsilon dot dot bar is 0 minus 2 times now expected value of epsilon I dot bar into epsilon dot dot bar is sigma square upon capital N. Here is sigma square upon capital N minus 2 times expected value of epsilon I dot bar is 0 and this term is also 0. So here minus 0. What we get in next step? This sigma square upon ni minus now this plus sigma square upon n minus 2 times sigma square upon capital N is minus sigma square upon capital N. Now take this sigma square outside. So we get sigma square in bracket 1 upon ni minus 1 upon capital N. So variance for alpha I hat is sigma square into 1 upon ni minus 1 upon capital N. Now we are interested to find expectation of mean sum of square due to error in completely randomized design. So let us consider expected value of mean sum of square due to error. So what is mean sum of square? Mean sum of square is sum of square due to error upon its degrees of freedom. So degrees of freedom is capital N minus T. Capital N means total number of observations and T means number of treatments. So N minus T is a constant term. So take outside the expectation. So we get 1 upon capital N minus T into expected value of sum of square due to error. So this is an equation 1. So in next step we get or let us consider expected value of sum of square due to error. So what is the definition for sum of square due to error is summation over I summation over j xij minus xi dot bar bracket square. So take expectation of this term. Now we get next step expected value of summation over I summation over j. Now xij can be written as mu plus alpha I plus epsilon ij minus Now this ith treatment mean can be written as mu plus alpha I plus epsilon I dot bar and whole bracket square. Now here this mu and this mu will get cancelled, then this alpha I and this alpha is also get cancelled, so the remaining terms are epsilon ij and epsilon I dot bar. So we get expected value of in square bracket summation over I summation over j epsilon ij minus epsilon I dot bar bracket square and complete this square bracket. Now just take square of this term. So we get expected value of summation epsilon ij square plus epsilon I dot bar, here is a square, minus 2 times epsilon ij into epsilon I dot bar. Now take this summation outside the bracket and take this expectation inside the bracket. So we get summation expected value of epsilon ij square plus summation expected value of epsilon I dot bar square minus 2 times expected value of epsilon ij into epsilon I dot bar. So in next step we get summation in bracket. Now expected value of epsilon ij square is sigma square, then expected value of epsilon I dot bar square is sigma square upon ni minus 2 times expected value for epsilon ij into epsilon I dot bar is sigma square upon ni. So this sigma square upon ni minus 2 times sigma square upon ni is minus sigma square upon ni. So we get summation over I summation over j sigma square minus 1 upon ni. Now just take this summation inside the bracket. So we get, now here sigma square is a constant term, so summation over I summation over j can be written as capital N, that is total number of observation into sigma square minus, so this sigma square is a constant, so take outside the summation sign into, now this summation I varies from 1 to n into ni into sigma square, because this sigma square is a constant term and summation over j can be written as ni. So we get this term. Now this one ni and this one ni will get cancelled and summation over I can be written as t. So in next step we get n into sigma square minus sigma square into t. So just take sigma square outside, so we get sigma square into capital N minus t. So expected value of sum of square due to error is sigma square into capital N minus t. So with the help of this, what is the value for expected value of mean sum of square due to error is sigma square, because expected value of mean sum of square is 1 upon capital N minus t into expected value of sum of square due to error. So we get expected value for mean sum of square due to error is sigma square. So here we can say that this mean sum of square due to error is unbiased estimator of sigma square. And what is sigma square? Sigma square is a expected value of epsilon ij, sorry, variance of epsilon ij, that is variance of error, random error. So in next step we are going to discuss expected value for mean sum of square due to treatment in completely randomized design. So let us consider expected value of mean sum of square due to error. So expected value of, now mean sum of square due to treatment can be written as sum of square due to treatment upon its degrees of freedom t minus 1. Now this t minus 1 is a constant term, so take outside the expectation, so we get 1 upon t minus 1 into expected value of sum of square due to treatment. So let us consider expected value for sum of square due to treatment. So let expected value for sum of square due to treatment is expected value of. So now sum of square due to treatment can be defined as summation over I ni into xi dot bar minus x dot dot bar bracket square and complete this square bracket. Now expected value of summation over I ni. Now this xi dot bar can be written as mu plus alpha I plus epsilon I dot bar minus, now this x dot dot bar can be written as mu plus epsilon dot dot bar, this whole bracket square. Now here mu and this mu will get cancelled, so the remaining term is expected value of summation over I ni in bracket alpha I plus epsilon I dot bar minus epsilon dot dot bar bracket square and complete this square bracket. Now just take square of this bracket. So we get here, take this summation over I ni outside the expectation. So we get summation ni expected value of. Now here is use formula a plus b plus c bracket square formula. So we get alpha I square plus epsilon I dot bar square plus, here is a plus epsilon dot dot bar square plus 2 times alpha I into epsilon I dot bar minus 2 times alpha I into epsilon dot dot bar minus 2 times epsilon I dot bar into epsilon dot dot bar. So now just take this expectation inside the bracket. Okay, so in next step we get summation over I ni. Now expected value of constant term is a constant, so we get alpha I square. Then expected value of epsilon I dot bar square is sigma square upon ni. So we get sigma square upon ni plus, is a plus. Then expected value of epsilon dot dot bar square is sigma square upon capital, then plus 2 times. Now expected value of constant term is a constant, but expected value of epsilon I dot bar is 0. So here we get 0 minus 2 times. So we know that expected value of epsilon dot dot bar is 0. So here we get 0 minus 2 times. Now expected value of epsilon I dot bar into epsilon dot dot bar is sigma square upon capital N. So in next step we get summation ni in bracket alpha I square plus sigma square upon ni minus sigma square upon capital N. Since this sigma square upon capital N minus 2 times sigma square upon capital N is sigma square upon capital N. Now take this summation ni inside the bracket. So we get summation alpha I square into ni plus. Now this term is independent of summation I. So summation over I can be written as t. Then this one n and this one n will get cancelled. So we get sigma square minus, take this term or multiply this term with sigma square upon capital N. So we get ni into t into sigma square upon capital N. So here ni into t is nothing but capital N, and this capital N will get cancelled. So remaining term is summation alpha I square into ni plus t into sigma square minus sigma square. So in next step we get summation alpha I square into ni plus sigma square into t minus 1. Now, so in this way we get expected value for mean sum of square due to treatment is expected value of sum of square due to treatment upon t minus 1. So expected value of sum of square due to treatment is summation alpha I square into ni plus sigma square into t minus 1. So here we get summation alpha I square into ni plus sigma square into t minus 1 upon t minus 1. So separate this denominator. So we get summation alpha I square into ni upon t minus 1 plus sigma square. So in this way we get expected value for mean sum of square due to treatment, and it is summation alpha I square into ni upon t minus 1 plus sigma square. So in this way we find expectations for mean sum of square due to error and expectation for mean sum of square due to treatment. Now we are interested to test hypothesis. So here is a test procedure for the difference between two specific treatment effects in completely randomized design model. So in CRD we want to test hypothesis that there is no significant difference between treatment effects. So in CRD our hypothesis is there is no significant difference between treatment effect versus alternative hypothesis. At least two treatment effects are differ significantly. So with the help of ANOVA table for CRD we give conclusion about this hypothesis. If our F calculated value is greater than critical value, then we reject H0 at given level of significance. Suppose in ANOVA we reject H0, then we are interested to know which two treatment effects are differ significantly. So for that we write one hypothesis, and the hypothesis is H0 star is there is no significant difference between Lth and mth treatment effect versus H1 star there is a significant difference between Lth and mth treatment effect. So with the help of ANOVA table, if we get conclusion that our null hypothesis is rejected, then we are interested to find which two treatments are differ significantly. So to test that hypothesis we use this test statistic, and our test statistic is denoted by T or T calculated, and it is defined as x L dot bar means Lth treatment mean minus Lx m dot bar means mth treatment mean upon square root of MSE, that is mean sum of square due to error, in bracket 1 upon NL plus 1 upon NM. So NL is nothing but size of Lth treatment or number of observations in Lth treatment, and NM is number of observation in mth treatment, and it follows T distribution with error degrees of freedom capital N minus T, and we define this hypothesis under our null hypothesis. Okay. So how we make conclusion about this hypothesis? If our this T calculated value or modulus of T calculated value is greater than T critical value, and T critical value is T with error degrees of freedom capital N minus T and alpha by 2 level of significance. So if this modulus of T is greater than T critical value, then we reject H0 star at alpha level of significance. So if we reject this H0 star, it means that health and mth treatment effects are differ significantly. So in this way we make conclusion about our hypothesis, and this is what about statistical analysis of completely randomized design. Thank you.